Yo, what's going on, guys? It's back with another episode of Blank in today's NHL. Today, we'll be featuring the 1980-1981 New York Islanders put into today's NHL. Now, take a look up in the right-hand, top right-hand corner. Bill Torrey was the general manager of this 1980-1981 New York Islanders dynasty Stanley Cup winning team. This was, I believe, the third. I have a whole bunch of statistics to show you guys on the good old laptop. Just pull this up here. Alright. So, this is, fair to say this is a little before my time, as I am but a little youngling. However, it is hard to deny one of the greatest franchises, actually, you could argue the greatest franchise, in NHL history. A dynasty, not franchise. Greatest dynasty in NHL history. You could easily make that argument. Now, first and foremost, there are players that are not included in this, and that is because this year, when they won the Cup, they were traded. Those two players being Chico Resch, or Glenn Resch, and Steve Tambellini. They were both traded before the playoff run. Also, Denis Potvin and Bryan Sutter did not play a single playoff game, so I decided to not include them. So, let's get right into this. Let's start off with the man himself, Mike Bossy. This guy, during the season, had 68 goals and 119 points. Almost unheard of offensive production in terms of goals during that time. Bossy was a beast. He could play physical, he could skate fast, and his shot was by far the best, obviously, the best at that time. 22 years old, very, very young age. Mike Bossy could have easily been the highest scorer, goal scorer in NHL history. However, his career was shortened due to knee injuries, which, is unfortunate. Now, moving on to their first-line center, you have Bryan Crocker. Now, guys, take into account, I had to do a lot of research to get this information about these players because I was not around during this time. I couldn't tell you a lot about these guys. Watching highlight videos, reading on Wikipedia, doing all this research, putting these guys together. So bear with me here. So now, this season, Bryan Crocker had 31 goals, 72 assists for 103 points. In the playoffs, I forgot to mention about Mike Bossy. In the playoffs, Bossy had 17 goals in 18 games, 35 points. Bryan Crocker had 29 points in 18 games. In the playoffs alone. Great playmaker, great center, could kill penalties, could score on the power play, did just about everything. Look at it, 5-star in every category except for one, that being physical. And I think the only reason his physical is not 5 stars because that body checking is a little bit low, and the fighting skill is 75. And then good old Clark Gillies, the power forward. Now, all three of these players' numbers are retired by the New York Islanders, by the way. Just saying. Clark Gillies, 6'3", 210 pounds, 78 points and 33 goals during the regular season. He had 15 points in 18 games in the playoffs. Clark Gillies, stereotypical power forward, tough, could score, did just about everything, and he could pummel you too. So be careful when Clark Gillies is around. Next, you have someone, probably a dark horse, not everybody knows this guy, John Tonelli. And now, John Tonelli was a center originally, but I threw him on the wing because, didn't really have enough room for centers, unfortunately. So John Tonelli had 52 points and 20 goals during the regular season, including 13 points in 16 games in the playoffs. John Tonelli is a good playmaker, but I made him more of a two-way playmaker where he can play both sides, play in all three zones. Decent playmaker, in an NHL 17 simulation, he's good for 40, 50 points, which is kind of accurate in comparison to his real NHL totals. Another young guy, 22 years old. This is very repetitive. Very young team was the start of the New York Islanders dynasty, which is surprising. They were only able to win 4 cups in a row. But then when good old Wayne Gretzky emerged into the NHL and beat him the 5th year the Islanders made the Cup. That's a storyline now I'll get into during the simulation, so I have something to talk about. Now, Bob Bourne, 25-year-old, high top 6 center I made him. He still got room to grow. Now, Bob Bourne, another guy that not a lot of people talk about because he's so overshadowed by the amazing talent. Bob Bourne this season had 35 goals and 76 points in 78 games and 10 points in 14 games in the playoffs. Guy's a beast. He could score. He set up plays. Great guy. Physical from what I read. And yeah, is Bob Bourne. 6'3", 200 pounds. Big boy. Big boy. Now, Anders Kallur, another one who, falls under the radar. Anders Kallur had 36 goals and 64 points in 78 games. while putting up 7 points in 12 games in the playoffs. He was a little bit injured and banged up at the playoffs. 27 years old, one of the oldest players on this team at the age of 27, believe it or not. Anders Klor is a good speedy sniper. I mean, in an NHL 17 simulation, he's good for 25 and 30 goals. Now, move down to the third line, you got Wayne Marek, a 26-year-old. Two-way forward, I made him. In real life, he was more of an offensive two-way forward, but, you know, doesn't hurt to have a two-way forward down there. Now, Wayne Marek had 16 goals and 31 points in 71 games of the regular season. On top of this, in the postseason, he put up 18 points in 18 games, so a big part of the playoff run. 4 stars, basically in almost every category. You know, well-rounded guy. I don't understand how his puck skills is 4.5 stars. He got 85, 85, 85, 84. But it is what it is. Young guy, stuck around for a while. Didn't have the longest career, but solid one nonetheless. Good for the Islanders. Now, Robert or Butch Gordon. Many of you know him as an announcer, analyst, all that good stuff. Good old Butch Gordon. Now, Butch Gordon was, I'm pretty sure, was the oldest player on this team. And besides Chico Resch, but he was traded. And I am correct on that. Yes, Butch Gordon was. Now, Butch Gordon in the regular season put up 60 points in 78 games, including 28 goals. However, in the playoffs, 10 goals, 10 assists for 20 points in 18 games. Butch Gordon, I made him a two-way forward. He was more of a scoring forward, maybe like a playmaker. But I gave him the two-way status because he'd be better for the third line in that sense. And, you know, yeah, I got a good top 6. You want to make that top 9 good, too. So throw him on that third line. He'll be good. I'm starting like a motherfucker today. I don't know what's going on with me. Getting old. Now, Dwayne Sutter. This guy's an interesting story. Now, Dwayne Sutter, not Brent Sutter. Dwayne Sutter. Dwayne Sutter came into this year very, very late in the year. He came in, let's see how many games were left. He only played 23 games in the regular season. Now, he was 20 years old. He put up 18 games in those 18 points in those 23 games, which is good. He had 4 points in the playoffs, including 3 goals. This was the start of a heck of a career for Dwayne Sutter. I mean, everybody knows the Sutter brothers. Dwayne, Darryl, Brent. Oh, God. The Sutter family tree is humongous. This guy is definitely more offensive than defensive. However, he's still young at the time. So I gave him good offensive stats. He should be good for 30, 40 points. Fourth line, Gary Howard, the smallest enforcer that ever lived. Gary Howard put up 19 points as a fourth-line enforcer, including 174 penalty minutes. The guy was a beast. Offensively, I didn't even make him that bad. Defensively, same thing. I made him a very well-rounded enforcer. Moving on to Billy Carroll, a very, very young guy, but was on the playoff team. He had 12 points in 18 games. Also played 18 games in the regular season. He put up 8 points in 18 games. Solid, offensive guy for the fourth line. Decent defensively, nothing crazy. The thing, I don't really know a lot about these guys, so it's kind of hard to make super 100% accurate ratings. However, you do the research, you can learn a decent amount about the guys. Now, the last guy, Hector Morini. I made him a little bit better than I should have, only because I've read very good things about the guy, so I figured, you know what? We'll make him high. He added 11 points in 14 games in the regular season at the age of 23. Come playoff time, 9 points in 9 games, including 3 goals. Hector Morini, I made him a two-way forward as well because his plus-minus was pretty damn good. He was a +3, so I figured, you know what? Give him good defensive statistics. There was not really anything specific on him, nothing I could find at least. So, those are his numbers. Now, moving on to defense. Denis Potvin, arguably one of the best defensemen in NHL history. Easily top 10 in NHL history. The guy did absolutely everything. Now, in the regular season, he was, I think this was a stretch. He had 6 seasons in a row as a point-per-game defenseman. He had 76 points in 74 games, 104 penalty minutes, 25 points in 18 games in the playoffs. On top of this, he added 20 goals in the regular season. 20 goals as a defenseman. Guy did absolutely everything. So I gave him 5 stars in every category. Physical, I feel like that should be 5 stars, but for some reason it didn't round up. So it is what it is. Young guy, 24 years old. Now, this guy falls under the radar. This guy many might not know about only because he did not play that many, he didn't play that many playoff games. I'd imagine he got hurt. Stefan Pearson. Let's see. Stefan Pearson. Let me find out. See how he did. Right. He had 61 points in 80 games, 5 assists in 7 playoff games. He did not play a lot in the playoffs. I'd imagine he got hurt. So I gave him good offensive statistics, decent defensive statistics. He did play a lot in the regular season. He's, kind of like logged probably about 25 minutes a game. shut down the top guys, and also add a lot of points. Playing with Denis Potvin will do that for you. Now, press B. Whoopsie daisies. I just got back from school. You gotta cut me some slack. Cut me some slack. Go back to edit lines. And I'm using a broken remote, by the way. Both my Xbox remotes are just, broken. Completely destroyed. Completely destroyed. Next, Dave Langevin, defensive defenseman. This guy did not add that much offense, if any, at all, did Bob Langevin, which is how I pronounce his name. I'm not exactly sure how it's pronounced. I'd imagine it's Langevin. Guy had 17 points, 16 assists, 1 goal in the regular season, 122 penalty minutes, but was a plus 40. So you can imagine, very good defensive statistics. Big dude, gave him good physical and defensive stats. That's all I can say about Dave Langevin. Bob Lormer, another defensive defenseman. This guy was a little bit more well-rounded. He had 2 goals. He had 13 points. No, that's Ken Morrow. Wrong guy. Bob Lormer. Yeah, no, I was right. I'm just going insane. He had 1 goal, 12 assists, rather. 77 penalty minutes. And was a plus 45. Plus 45. Now, that's pretty impressive. Gave him good physical and defensive statistics. Offensive statistics were about the same as Dave Langevin. Decent skater from what I read, and that's all I can really say about Bob Lormer. Moving on, Mike Mcewan. This guy was brought in from Colorado in a trade that sent over Steve Tambellini and Chico Resch to Colorado. Mike Mcewan added 3 assists in 13 playoff games, but in the playoffs in 17 games, he had 14 points in 17 games. Now, that's impressive. I gave him decent offensive statistics, decent defensive statistics, and just, well-rounded defenseman. After that, you have Ken Morrow. He had 2 goals, 11 assists in the regular season, a plus 19, 7 points in 18 games in the postseason. So I gave him good defensive stats. Not the greatest offensive statistics, however, I made his shot a little bit harder. And good physical stats, 6'4", 205, big dude. Big dude. Now on to the tendies. Billy Smith, baby. Good old Billy Smith. This guy, if you ever watch Billy Smith videos, I made his aggressiveness 99 because if you stood in front of Billy Smith's crease, your ankles were getting shot at all game long. We used to sharpen the end of his stick so that when he slashed you, you would make sure that you didn't come back to the front end. Billy Smith, very good, very talented goaltender after that. Rowley Melanson, 19-year-old. He was 20 years old by the time they won the cup, but he was 19 years old at the start of the season. Actually ended up logging 3 playoff games, played 11 games during the regular season. He was more of a call-up because they traded Chico Resch. However, at the time, he put up a .310 goals against average, which is relatively good for that era. They didn't have save percentage or anything back then. They just had, goals against. And that is your New York Islanders. So I can minimize this tab. Excellent. Open up this tab. All right. And now let us commence in the simulation. Calendar. Very happy to be doing this part 2. Again, big thanks to X-Tech Gaming for allowing me to do this because the guy's a beast. Check him out. We're not going to make any trades, so we can just go do a straight shot through the season. All right. So, storylines. We'll start with the Denis Potvin storyline. This was in the middle of a stretch where he had like 6 consecutive point per game seasons as a defenseman. Now, this is a New York Rangers channel, through and through. I'm a huge Ranger fan, as is my family. You can see from my New York Rangers reactions, overtime, playoff, all that good stuff. Most Ranger fans don't really know Denis Potvin for the great defenseman that he was. We mostly know him as the guy that everybody says sucks in a nice old chant. Potvin sucks. That one. That good old chant that everybody hears at the Garden. Now, this is due to the fact that Denis Potvin, at the time it wasn't a dirty hit, but he laid out, what was that? I forgot the guy's name. I just had it. Anyways, nearly ruined the guy's career. The guy was never the same when he came back. Completely destroyed the guy. Leveled him. And ever since then, the Potvin sucks chant came around. Now, back then, everybody knew how great of a defenseman Denis Potvin was. Nowadays, that was a while back. Now, looking over 30 years now, which is crazy to even say. And now everybody just thinks he's just somebody that sucks. No, he was a phenomenal defenseman. And us Ranger fans, well, we might not appreciate as much as you Islander fans. I've actually thought I watched it hit a few times. For that time period, it wasn't the dirtiest hit of all time in terms of their era. However, if it was in today's NHL, you might not have fared as well. All right. So we started the season 7-1. Very good. What else? What else could I possibly say? Yes. So the reason why I chose this team. The reason why I chose this team, we just did the New York Rangers. This is the New York Rangers channel. I want to expand my channel more. I want to include more teams. I want to become more universal in terms of the NHL. Everybody knows I'm a big hockey fan. I like to say I know a lot about hockey. I know a lot of statistics that not nobody really knows or cares about. So, put a little care in it, throw in the New York Islanders, show that I'm an unbiased being. I'm like, screw it. Throw in the New York Islanders dynasty in there. Why the heck not? They were best dynasty in NHL history, undoubtedly. As good as the Oilers were, as good as the Penguins were, as good as all these other dynasties were, even the Montreal Canadiens. I mean, the New York Islanders did something that no team has ever done before. Winning 4 cups in a row and making 5 cups in a row. And had it not been for Wayne Gretzky, they would have won 5 cups in a row. Easily. Would have won 5 cups in a row. Actually, hell, they might have even won 6, 7, or 8. They were that good of a team. Also, if it had not been for the New York Islanders, maybe the Rangers would have won a few cups in the late 70s and 80s. Who knows? Bastards. Just kidding. Everybody relax. Alright, so let's see. There's a few narratives. Let's see. Let me take a look. I had a few narratives written down. I gotta talk about this team. Bad loss against the Penguins right there. I hate the Penguins. Hate them. I'll do them next. Maybe. Let's see. Not really much I could talk about this team because I'm not too educated on the New York Islanders, as many of you know. And not really much I could tell you. So we'll rock. We'll simulate. We'll see how the team does. Hopefully we'll be able to come out with a cup. And that would be sick. We'll make it their 5th in history. With their team making a comeback in today's NHL. I honestly think this is one of the better teams I created. And I've done this before, like not on YouTube, but I've done it before in old NHL games. I just went off, created ridiculous rosters, hundreds of created players, and all that good stuff. Honestly, including the Rangers team that I made, this team and all the prospects I made for my GMOs and everything, oh my god, I have over 60-something players made, and that's nothing in comparison to some people. And to think, I want to make at least 3 more blank in today's NHL videos. I have a whole bunch of teams in mind, all set up and everything. I think I went over this last video. A couple from the 90s, one from the 2000s. So that'll be fun. God, kids. I can't wait to get out. The school year is almost over, and I'm so excited. I'm so done with school right now. I'm exhausted. You can hear my voice. I'm yawning. Want to be wide awake while making this video. Wanted to be. But where are all these L's coming from, though? So let's just not do that anymore. Por favor. Trying to get some dubs right now, man. Just trying to win. All right, you could just go right to the scouting assignment. I missed in the old games, at least on old gen. You would say no to the scout twice. Like, you would ignore him twice, and he wouldn't come back the rest of the season. This guy is relentless. He comes back every 6 weeks, and then if you tell him no, he'll be back a week later, and a week later, and a week later. Relentless is this guy. They got to do something about that. I wish you could just let it go automatically. In MLB 17, the show, I mean, you could literally turn off the scouting setting, and they just do it for you. Which is flippin' awesome, by the way. That game is sick, and I would love to play it in a YouTube series. But let's get there first. We got plenty on our plate right now to take care of. So let's do this first. And we're killing right now. We only have 10 regulation losses. I love watching. I just jinxed it. Did I jinx it? Don't tell me I jinxed it. Yes, I didn't jinx it. All right, what do we got? Colorado. Mike Mcewan can play against his old team. See how we do. At Colorado, we got 10, 25, and 4. Damn. Speaking of the Colorado Avalanche, I was reading something the other day. Carl Soderberg is legally blind in his left eye. I had no idea about that. I was reading an article on this silly website that makes a lot of dumb hockey articles. Like their hockey writers are very uneducated. However, this particular article was very, very interesting. And yeah, like Max Domi has diabetes. Soderberg's blind in one eye. This was an old goalie that had Asperger's. Like, there's so much interesting things on it. I found it very interesting. But yeah, Soderberg is blind in one eye. Legally blind. I mean, not blind to the fact where it's just darkness. He said, like, he could see, but, like, incredibly blurry. To the point where, I mean, he's legally blind, so, you know, by law, he is blind in that eye. But, like, that's insane. And he plays in the NHL with, like, what's your excuse? What's my excuse for not being in the NHL? This guy has one freaking eye. And he's killing it. Like, absolutely killing it. Former second-round pick of the St. Louis Blues. Now, here's an interesting story about that. If he would have come over to the NHL instead of staying a couple extra years, that incident might have never happened, because it happened when he was taking a couple of years off of the NHL to, I guess, grow a little bit more in Sweden, in the Swiss League. So, I mean, that might have never happened if he would have came to the NHL. So, what does that tell you? Come to the NHL. Shabushk. That was a good month. That was a solid freaking month of simulating. We only lost 3 games. On fire right now. Easily got to be first in the NHL. I'd imagine Mike Bossie's got like 85,000 goals. He's just rocking right now. Not even giving up that many goals, in case, you know, if you've noticed. We haven't been scoring too much, but we haven't been giving up a lot either. So I guess that's pretty good. And Toronto Maple Leafs beat us 4-3. So upset the Maple Leafs couldn't beat the Capitals, man. I was pulling for them. It's all good, though. We got Rangers Senators this series, which I'm incredibly worried about, because, like, Rangers don't do very well against underdogs. They do well as the underdog, not against underdogs. Not that the Senators are underdogs by any stretch of the imagination, but all these freaking analysts that counted the Rangers out round 1 are counting them in this round. So, you know, that's never a good thing. Never a good thing. Never, ever. Crazy, man. The Blackhawks got swept, all that. Jeez Louise. Speaking of the New York Islanders, this year they won the last 6 games of the year and still missed the playoffs. Thanks to the good old Toronto Maple Leafs. Very close. Damn, the freaking Devils, man. Get the hell out of here. Bunch of bastards. Losing 3 games in a row. What is this? Come on. Won 4 cups in a row. Don't lose 4 games in a row. There we go. So 4 cups in a row. That's insanity. Almost like the Buffalo Bills losing 4 Super Bowls in a row. What's more likely, winning 4 championships in a row, or losing 4 championships in a row? I feel like it's harder to lose 4 in a row. Like, at some point, you just got to draw a line in the sand. Like, we can't take this shit anymore. Here's an interesting story. The St. Louis Blues, their first 3 years in existence, lost the Stanley Cup 3 years in a row. That's the St. Louis Blues for you. You don't believe me? Look it up. 3 years straight. Their first year, second year, and third year in the NHL. Lost 3 cups. Do not remember to who, though. I believe the Islanders are one of the teams. Were they not? No, I doubt it. Were they? No, I don't think so. I forgot who. But they lost 3 cups in a row, nonetheless. I mean, you could make the argument that Stanley Cup is the hardest trophy to win, but getting there 3 years in a row and losing 3 years in a row, like, that's rough. That's, like, really rough. Especially as a player. Can you imagine being on a team that lost 3 cups in a row and then just not winning throughout the rest of your career? Or being 40 years old, going there the first year they losing the cup? I'll stick it out another year, lose again. All right, next year. You know what? I'm going to give up. That would be me after the 3rd year. Losing 5 games in a row is unacceptable, though. I don't take that crap. Negative. All right? 70 games in. Edit. Scouting assigned. Sure. Scout the National League, of course. Of course. You never know who we might draft. You never know. Oh, yeah, man. Running out of narratives here. We're just going to have to simulate and see how we do. I have to focus on the simulation. And I wish I could just edit all this crap out. But. Hard to do that with Windows Movie Maker. Yes, I know. That is my editing software. Make fun of me as you please. We get 50 dubs or what? 50 dubs? 50? 50. Come on. Beat the damn Devils. Don't you do it to me, you son of a bitch. Yes. Really, I'm going to lose. All right, we got 50 wins, 106 points. How do we do? Ooh, Pitts puke in the first round. We did not have Mario Lemieux at this point in time. Let us see. You know what would be sick? You can make every NHL franchise, like in NHL history, like their best team they ever best roster they ever put on the ice in history. Put it into one franchise mode and see who wins. That is something I might do if I can find the time to make every freaking team's team. What do we got? Actually, thinking about that right now, that's 18 guys. No, it's 20 guys a team. 20 times 30. You're looking at Jesus Christmas. Yeah, I mean that might be. That's like 600 players, is it not? No. Just a little interruption right there. Got a phone call. My apologies. No, I don't. Let's see. 20 times 30. What would that equate to? 20 times. Am I getting that old? That I can't even figure that out? 20 times 30. Why am I not? Is that? This is bothering me that I don't know this right now. 1 second. 20 times 30. Yeah, I was right. 600. It just didn't sound right. Man, there are 600 players in the NHL. Damn. All right, where are we? Fifth in the league. Let's see how we finished. Goals for. We got to be up there. And we are not. Actually, meh. Goals against. Meh. Power play? Come on, that's got to be insane. No? Not feeling the power play. Penalty kill, though, I bet was through the roof. Yeah, alright. Alright. Respect. Started off the year so well, I didn't expect to see that. Mike Bossy led the way with 83 points. How did the rest of the squad do? 50 goals? 50, 41. Okay. Wow. Okay, that's a little depressing. The top two scorers were as anticipated, but everybody else, no. No, not even close. I mean, alright. Pearson only had 29 points, which is a little worrisome. I mean, I guess Billy Smith, did he do good? Wow. Maybe I should have done a better job of creating these players. He had 7 shutouts. Yeah, that was unexpected. Very unexpected. Let's see how the rest of the league did. That was incredibly unexpected. I really thought we were going to dominate. Okay, cool. We have Yager's up there with 89 points. Insane. All right, let's get these freaking playoffs going on. I want to win a damn cup. Let's go. Let's get the dub with this squad. Calendar. Yes. And we're going to go right here. I really wish my remote wasn't broken. It's making things so much easier. Same game. Game 1 against Pittsburgh. First period. Okay, wow, but no good at the same. Yeah, we're just gonna go quick sim. All right, so we lose the first game 7-4. No bueno. No bueno. At all. That is a poor loss. Let's get him. I don't like broken remotes. It infuriates me. Come on. Game 2. This is the comeback game. This is the comeback game. I'm calling it. Let's go. First period. Second. Whoo, baby, let's go. Third. Okay, all right. Billy Smith, let's keep that puck out of that, huh? Come on, defense. Got a good defensive squad out there, man. We cannot be giving up that many Genos. All right. Game trace. Excellent. Sim game. What do we got? First period. Second. Third. Freaking first overtime. Pearson, let's go. Let's go. 2-1 series lead for yours truly. Get that game 4 act. Let's go up 3-1. Finish them in 5. That's what I'm talking about. Come on. Game 4. Oh, that was a bad voice crack. First period. Second. Third. Shaboom. Lego. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly what I'm talking about. I am talking about nothing else but that. Shaboosh. Pitch puke again. Sim game, I am positive. First period. Alright, second. Whoo! It's Sutter and Stanley with the tires. Third period. Oh, baby. Off to the second round. Dude, Howard scored. The enforcer. I love it. I freaking love it. Bob Bourne, I don't want to hear shit from you right now, bro. We are killing it. Okay, we just advanced to the second round. You're gonna sit here and give me puss face? Come on. What is this? Bob Bourne, what's going on? Washington. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Alright, they swept the first round. We won at 5. Hence more experience. First period. Second. Third. Wow. That loss was worse than game 1 in the last series. Alright. Alright, Rabbit. Okay. I see you. Game 2. Third. Overtime? Oh, Calor. Excellent. So we go from giving up 7 goals to getting a shutout. So I guess that's a good thing. Bob Bourne, can you make up your GD mind? We're trying to win a cup right now, and you being in a shit mood is not helping our cause. Thank you very much. Game trace. First period. Second. Third. It's like you have nice things, and then they just take them away from you. We were winning 1-0. It's hard to protect the 1-0 lead, but giving up 3 goals in 1 period, yeah, that's kind of rough. Just kind of rough. Get that game 4. Let's tie this bitch up. First period. I didn't mean to do that. I just broke the game. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. Okay, first period. Second. Third. Son of bitch. This right here is not good. This is not good. Not good at all. We are down 3-1. Come on. Islanders. Come on. The only time in history I will ever root for you, and you're boning me right now. Let's get that game 5. First period. Second. Third. Yes. We pushed it to 6. Win 2 more games this series, and I will leave this series in a good mood. But you have to win at least 2 more games in the series. Just saying. First period, game 6. Second. Third. Son of a gun. All right. Dang it. We couldn't quite do it. The New York Islanders 1980-1981 team last 2 rounds. And that is all she wrote. Let us take a look and see who performed and who decided against performing in the playoffs. Ah, man, I really thought this was going to be the team I won with. The other teams, I feel like I'm going to have a very, very hard time with winning. Damn, Anders Calor did great. Bob Bourne, maybe if he didn't drop to an 82 overall, we might have had... wow, he is pissed. If he didn't drop to an 82 overall, we might have won. Stefan Pearson had good. Yeah, Mike Bossy killed it. Tonelli, all these guys. Dwayne Sutter, Butch Gordon, damn. Man, I really thought this was the team I was going to win with. I really did. Poor Billy Smith. What the hell? What can you do? Alright, I'm done. Thank you, everybody, for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed watching, because I surely enjoyed making it. And if you understood everything I just said in this video, you do not need hearing aids. I will see every one of you in the next one. Peace!